Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Prime Live. So, last night at about 22:11, SAHUC released a press statement, and I think it's one of the biggest changes to the Hajj industry, probably since the inception of SAHUC many years ago. Because for those of us old enough to realize that we could have gone for Hajj a few years ago without doing it through an agent, and it was a very different way of going for Hajj. Last night, the press statement mentioned that basically that SAHUC will now be taking control of Hajj together with the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. But instead of me speaking about it, I'm delighted to be joined by the president of SAHUC, Hafiz Moaaz Casoo. Hafiz Moaaz, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Prime Live.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I trust that you're doing well as the listeners on INX Prime tonight.
Alhamdulillah, we all well. Hafiz Moaaz, I'm sure you've had a very hectic day today answering many questions regarding, I'd say, a very much of a bombshell press release that you put out last night.
Alhamdulillah, it has been an okay day. I think normal for us at SAHUC, doing a normal business work as well as SAHUC work. Alhamdulillah, we share the workload within SAHUC, so I haven't been doing interviews myself. Other colleagues have also been conducting interviews, so it makes work a lot easier for us, Alhamdulillah.
Hafiz Moaaz, we know that the press statement that was released last night has left a lot of people concerned. Some people, I mean, a lot of the old, if I can put it that way, SAHUC stories are coming out again. I'm going to let you address some of that a bit later on. But just for the benefit of our viewers, if you can give us a brief gist of what your press statement said last night.
Okay, so first and foremost, I think the most important point we want to mention is we are not going onto the NUSUC platform. I will repeat this. South Africa is not going onto the NUSUC platform. What is going to happen is in the past, up until 2025, the accredited Hajj travel operators from South Africa used to secure housing in Mecca, Medina, Azizia, and transportation and catering in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The operator used to put a markup pricing and then sell a package to the pilgrims of South Africa. This is the current process that was taking place until 2025. The balance of the package was the 5 days of Hajj costs, the Tanazzul, and the ministry fees. Those fees, SAHUC used to receive direct from the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, and we used to publish the Saudi Riyal value in the public domain. The travel operator used to take his housing costs as well as the ministry costs, put it together and sell a package. Over and above the package used to be Qurbani, and there used to be airline tickets, and there used to be ziyarats that used to be included by the travel operator. From 2026, 1447 going forward, the South African travel operators will no longer be securing the housing in Mecca, Medina, Azizia, transportation for the pilgrims. This task will now be handled by the Saudi service provider company, as known to many in the past as the Muassasa. They will be responsible to secure these contracts in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and they will pass that cost on to Saudi. We will also then obtain the 5 days of Hajj cost, the Tanazzul cost, and the ministry cost from the service provider in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and SAHUC will have a total cost package from the service provider and from the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah per pilgrim in Saudi Riyals.
So, Moaz, just to come in there, sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to just clarify something. So that means your South African tour operators were basically a middleman in this entire operation before. Are you cutting out the middleman, and do you foresee Hajj becoming cheaper that way?
Okay, so let me just complete the process, then you'll get perhaps a better understanding. We're not cutting out anyone at this point in time, all right? So what we're going to be doing is we will receive this cost. Once we receive the cost, SAHUC is going to go on an exercise to determine the selling price of a package. So for example, let's say a package is 1,000 Rand. SAHUC looks at all the costs associated with it. And let's say, for example, we sell it for a selling price of, let's say, 1,200 Rand, just as an example. All right. At the same time, what SAHUC is saying to the travel operator, because you are no longer an entity in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under your travel operator name ABC or DEF, you now have to go under SAHUC if SAHUC approves your business plan that you're going to put together for SAHUC. Remember, in the past, you had to obtain the pricing. Now, going forward, SAHUC will have the pricing from the service provider in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we will then have the cost pricing determine the selling pricing. We have requested the travel operators in South Africa to put through a business plan. This business plan will take our cost that we provide to the travel operator, and each travel operator will come forward with his or her own business plan of what they envisage they would put forward for the benefit of the South African pilgrim. So, for example, if SAHUC works out a package to cost 1,200 Rand selling price, and an operator takes the cost that we're going to give him, and he comes out at 1,600 Rand, it becomes a no-brainer that SAHUC will not utilize the service of an operator. We will do that portion of the package ourselves and bring the pilgrims. If an operator or operators come with 1,200 Rand package or 1,250 Rand package, or even cheaper than what SAHUC can do it, we will then review with the service provider, with the operator, if SAHUC can bring them within our banner, within our ambit, and see how the travel operator will work under the SAHUC banner to sell the packages in South Africa to the pilgrims. All the money will come straight to SAHUC. We will then provide the operator his portion of his margin, and then we will determine who will be coming with SAHUC as part of the mission delegation to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In the past, up till this year, SAHUC opens up applications to mission workers and medical team throughout the country. That will continue. In the past, the operators used to have 1 per 50. For every 50 Hajis, they used to get 1 worker. That is now gone. SAHUC will open it up to the public. We will get the khadims, which are your alims, your alimas, your mission workers. We will open it up to the public, and we will see what is available in the public domain. And from there, we will interview, and we will take the best of the applicants to serve the guests of Allah. So nothing is going to change from a service delivery point of view. However, our aim and objective is to improve on the service delivery that has been offered by the operators and SAHUC in the past. It is our aim and objective to improve on the service delivery. So we're not cutting out the operators. We have asked the travel operators, if you want to work under SAHUC, you need to present a business plan. We have provided you the rules and regulations from the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, which now limits the capability of an operator and the privileges that an operator had in the past. Based on the new rules and regulations, what is it that you can put forward on the table that will benefit SAHUC, South Africa, and the pilgrims? And from there, SAHUC will make a decision on the way forward. It does not mean if 20 operators give a business plan, we will accept every business plan. So we will review it in conjunction and in consultation with the operator, because we are going to do the exact same exercise to ensure that whatever proposal is put forward by all the operators, we have done our own homework internally to make sure that we put competitive pricing in the market for the pilgrims, because ultimately our goal and objective is to make sure we are here to serve the pilgrims to the best of our ability and to see how we can reduce the pricing, inshallah, for the pilgrims going forward.
Moaaz, I think you gave a comprehensive answer there. We do have a lot of questions coming in from our viewers out there, but before I go there, I just wanted to find out a few things from SAHUC's side. Do you have the capability, do you have the manpower to actually embark on taking 2,500 or 3,000 South African Hajis, considering that we know SAHUC have played an amazing role in the last few years, making sure that the Hajj for South Africans proceeds very well. However, you haven't been really involved in the day-to-day with the Hajis in the hotels as the operators. Do you have, as the operators generally do you have the capability and the capacity to fulfill those needs of the Hujjaj? And what other things that SAHUC will be doing in the next 10 months or so to get everything going? Because, I mean, it's not very long until the next Hajj, and I'm sure that planning needs to start straight away.
So yes and no. So first and foremost, like I mentioned earlier on, each year we open up applications for mission workers and nurses, and we limited that number based on SAHUC quota allocation versus an operator allocation. So for every 50 pilgrims, we provided one mission worker slash a khadim that was given to the operator. That is not going to change, but now SAHUC will have the power to determine who we will be taking to provide the service to the pilgrim. So from that aspect, I don't think it's too much of a concern because it's manpower or woman power on the ground that is needed. We're going to open it up to the public. We've done it from a SAHUC perspective. The operator fulfill his or her role. We're going to get similar people in the public domain with experience. Some may not have experience. They'll be going on the first time as part of the mission delegation. So from that aspect, we're not too concerned. Where the biggest drive comes in is from an admin perspective, because that's where bulk of the work takes place. Alhamdulillah, we are gearing up. We have got 6 administrators at the moment in our organization. We are looking at employing possibly more administrators if needs be to assist us with the admin work, or like we said, depending on the proposals that are put forward by the operators, perhaps we can bridge that gap, which can assist us from an admin perspective for all the input information that needs to go onto the ministry's Nusuk Masar platform. So yes, there's a lot of work that needs to take place. We believe that we can manage the process. There's a lot of people just today alone, including alims and normal citizens, South African Muslims, that have contacted us. They've reached out to us and said, we want to join you. We want to be part of your team. You know, we never have an opportunity in the past. So we are fairly confident that inshallah we can manage the process. We are confident that if the need arises for us to employ people, that's not going to be an issue. And also, if the operators are going to put business propositions together, we are pretty sure they're going to include their resource with expertise, knowledge to assist. So we will have to review all of those. Yes, there isn't enough time. There's never going to be enough time. It's how we manage the process and how we manage our time and resource pool to ensure that we do not drop our service delivery for the pilgrims, because that is the highest priority of the organization at this point in time.
Following this year's Hajj, we saw a lot of compliments for SAHUC, alhamdulillah. Unfortunately, there is a misconception regarding SAHUC, but I think a lot of those misconceptions and myths have been debunked over the last few years. I do have some questions from some of our viewers who've been sharing with us via social media. One of those questions comes from, I'm not going to be mentioning names. Please openly explain where is SAHUC's mandate to be a Hajj operator. Another question is, how does a regulator and referee suddenly become a player? And who's going to be policing SAHUC?
Okay, valid points. Like we mentioned to the operators last night, obviously this is news to SAHUC, it's news to the operators, it's news to the public. SAHUC is busy reviewing our processes, our policies, our constitution. Those will all be amended fairly soon based on the new rules and regulations. So I think you've got to give us some time to amend those rules and regulations. We've only received it and unwinded it in the last few days. So yes, we're going to be looking at it and we're going to be implementing changes. With regards to regulator, facilitator, I think if you look at our constitution, it's on our website. It does not state regulator, merely facilitator for Hajj. But nevertheless, there is different interpretation on that. And when we amend the constitution, inshallah, it will be put in the correct context going forward. With regards to player referee, yes, we understand that point. SAHUC is busy consulting with the United Ulama Council of South Africa. I'm not too sure if the official email has been sent. I did speak to the Secretary General of SAHUC earlier today. I did speak to one of the senior ulama at UCSA to inform him we will be writing to them to request, obviously, an independent, reputable body or organization that can look at Hajj complaints as well as look at mediation for Hajj. And the moment the email goes out to UCSA, inshallah, thereafter they will advise us and guide us of the necessary bodies. We are also internally ourselves as SAHUC consulting with various parties with regards to ensuring we get an independent, reliable, reputable body that's going to be looking at complaints and mediation for Hajj. So I think it's a bit too early for us to commit to things and to put things in writing. This news has also come to us as a bit of a shock. We had a very limited time to absorb everything. We are now slowly unwinding, but we are open, we're transparent, we're going to be honest to everybody. We know it's going to take us some time to get it done. Just be patient and work with us. Inshallah, we're going to give it our best and we're going to try to ensure that we comply with all the requirements, both from a South African perspective as well as from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. One also needs to understand when you take Hajj and you take Umrah, and I'm going to make this analogy because I know where the question is coming from. In South Africa, you have 2,500 pilgrims that go for Hajj annually. That's a fact. Sometimes it's 3,500. All right? If we get an additional quota. Who is the regulator for Hajj? The Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. Who is the facilitator for Hajj? SAHUC. Some may call it regulator, some call it a facilitator. That is for Hajj. If you have a complaint during Hajj this year, last year, the Ministry of Hajj has come out very openly and they've put out several posts, and SAHUC has done the same thing. There is a number to contact and you get a ticket, and that number is 1966 for any complaints, whether it's against a Hajj operator, whether it's against SAHUC, whether it's against a service provider. And the ministry had a system in place to receive complaints and address complaints immediately. We've tried the system, it works well, alhamdulillah. We've got to give credit to the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. When you look at Umrah in South Africa, who is the player? Who is the referee? If you go for Umrah right now and something goes wrong with your travel operator, who do you go to? No one. There's nobody in South Africa that can help you. You're going to knock on SAHUC's door. We don't regulate Umrah. Who do you go to? The operator is the player and the referee in Umrah. And what is the market for Umrah? Let me give you the facts. 50,789 pilgrims went for Umrah this last Islamic year. 1446, 50,789 versus 2,500 Hajj pilgrims. All right. For Umrah, the player and referee is the same body. For Hajj, it wasn't the same body. We know going forward we're going to have to amend our process, procedures, our constitution, and we're going to do it. And we're going to get an independent body that's going to review complaints and review mediation. The bigger question the public must be asking, what are we doing for Umrah? Where are we going with Umrah? What's going to happen when operators default? Who do we turn to? So for a larger market of 50,789, we have the player and the referee as the same body. I think that's a bigger concern, and that is something we need to focus on going forward, inshallah.
Just based on what you've mentioned about Umrah, will SAHUC be interested in becoming the regulator for Umrah, working with the South African, with the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Hajj and Umrah? Because I know many other countries do have Umrah regulated a bit more stringently compared to South Africa.
At this point in time, on the 7th and the 16th of July 2025, our focus as SAHUC is Hajj. Our primary objective is Hajj, and that is all we are focusing on now. We've got new duties, we've got new responsibilities, we've got a new mandate. It's our highest priority and our highest focus, and that's all we are focusing on, because we cannot afford to drop the ball and to put any of our pilgrims in distress going for Hajj, inshallah, for the year 2026, 1447. So that's our primary objective and our focus, and we're going to do everything possible to ensure that we ourselves improve on our service delivery. We try our best to look at how we can bring the pricing down. There's no guarantee, because right now we don't know what the pricing is going to be for next year. But when we engage with the role players in the kingdom, we're going to give it our best, and we're going to try our best, because ultimately we understand it is very expensive. And the one thing people need to understand, our South African rand is very weak against the Saudi riyal. It's almost 5-1. And that plays a major impact when you look at pricing for Hajj. For example, if somebody charges us 1,000 riyals for a night for a room in a hotel, unfortunately, it's costing you 5,000 rand. But if our rand was 1-1, we would be paying 1,000 rand for that room. So those are the challenges we have to navigate around. It is our duty and responsibility to negotiate the best possible pricing for our pilgrim from a real perspective, and see how we can minimize the risk in terms of the rate of exchange fluctuation, and look at forward cover contracts where we can sort of fix the rate over a period of time so that our pilgrims can benefit and they don't lose out on paying exorbitant pricing going forward. But right now, it is difficult for us to comment to say, yes, pricing will drop, no, pricing won't drop, because we haven't engaged the role players in the kingdom. They don't have pricing available for next year. So it is difficult for us to talk on this subject matter, but the moment it does become available, we will be transparent, we will be open, we will talk about it, and we're not going to hide about it because it's something that we need to focus on for the benefit of the pilgrims of South Africa.
Hafiz Moaaz, Jazakallah so much for your time. I think you've answered a lot of the questions, dispelled some of the myths that are out there, also answered our viewers' questions, Jazakallah. And you mentioned that SAHUC have always been very open with the media, and there's an open invitation to you and SAHUC from INX Prime that as soon as you have any further information, because we do understand it is a very stressful time for prospective Hujjaj, that our platform is open to you to put out any information that needs to be put out. But from us here, Jazakallah so much for your time. And until we chat again, we'll be keeping in contact with the people at SAHUC just to keep our viewers in check as well.
I mean, Jazakallah for the opportunity. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to talking about the Hajj going forward and the new rules and regulations, because there are new rules and regulations pertaining to Hajj. I think as the weeks unfold and unwind, we will be publishing more announcements pertaining to Hajj. But for now, I think this is the main focus, the breaking news. But I can guarantee you there's going to be changes with regards to health. There's going to be changes with regards to accreditation process, timelines, payments. All that is going to unwind over the next few weeks or months. But for now, let's focus on this new task, and let's see how we can serve the pilgrims to the best of our ability, inshallah. And shukran jazilan for the opportunity, both to yourself and to the listeners of INX Prime. And we look forward to being on the program, inshallah, again going forward. Shukran jazilan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was Hafiz Moaaz Casoo, the president of SAHUC. I think he did answer a lot of our questions. And as you've heard, we've opened our platform to SAHUC just to make it easier for the Hujjaj, prospective Hujjaj out there to get all the assistance that they need in making the decision, as Hajj 1447 will be here in about 10 months' time. We're going to take a short ad break now, so stay tuned.